The council opted for an open attitude towards modernity and a commitment of Catholics in and to the wider world. In this film, you will discover why it was such a dramatic development. We find it normal today to look positively at the current time and world, but for centuries, philosophy and religion often focused on detachment from the mundane and the temporal. This was because it was believed that such detachment left more room for the spiritual and eternal, even the divine. Until the early 20th century, the Church often looked with suspicion at the developments in the world. To name but one famous example, the severe condemnation of liberalism and modernism in 1907. Even during the Council, some Council Fathers continued to promote distrust towards the modern era and developments in the wider world. Pope John XXIII gave the Council a different assignment, aggiornamento, and he wanted the Church to consider what it had to offer to the modern world in a constructive sense. The vision of John XXIII slowly began to become more influential throughout the Council. To begin with, there was no preparatory text addressing such issues, and only after a speech by Cardinal Suens at the end of the Council's first session did such themes become firmly part of the Council's official agenda. And at least 7 completely different drafts were needed before the Council Fathers arrived at an acceptable text. In 1963, Gerard Phillips was working with a group of theologians on the so-called text of Mechelen. And in Krakow, under the guidance of Monsignor Wachla, a Polish text was made. But it was the text of Zurich in the beginning of 1964 which formed the basis of the pastoral constitution on the Church in the modern world, Gaudium et Spes, joy and hope. And only during the third session in 1964 did the Council Fathers debate the text for the first time. The subjects in rapid succession, from marriage to world peace, hunger to atheism, from culture to economy. It quickly became clear that a fourth session would be needed to bring the Constitution to a successful end. Several topics which Gaudium et Spes helped place on the Church's agenda have now become permanent priorities for the Catholic Church. For example, the radical choice for peace over and against war, to combat poverty and always defend the poor, the equal dignity of all persons regardless of their gender or ethnicity. Theologies turn toward the option for social justice and emancipation. Each subject now has a permanent and central place in the Church's mission. The Constitution may continue to challenge Christians to take a stand and to be always more involved in helping to change the world for the better.